welcome to this channel Gain Java Knowledge, and today in this video we will learn how Swagger Code Generator used to generate REST API code. And today in this video I will create one Spring Boot project that will use the code generated by our Swagger Codegen plugin. And here I will create two APIs. So one API will be used to fetch all student reports, and the second API I will use to add student into DB. The Swagger Codegen is an open source code generator to build server stubs and client SDKs directly from Swagger defined RESTful API. And the Swagger Codegen and Open API generator enable you to generate REST client quickly for your API with many languages like Java and any other languages. And we can specify any library according to our requirement. So here in this video we will use Spring Boot library because we are going to use Spring Boot framework. And here Swagger can be integrated in two ways. So today in this video we will follow a top down approach, and second one is bottom up approach. So what is the meaning of top down approach? In top down approach means first API specification we will create one YAML file, and inside this YAML file we will define our all API specification. What will be our header, request, response, everything we will define inside one YAML file. And after that we will generate the code. So this is top down approach. And what is bottom up approach? For example, if we have already created one Spring Boot project but we have not integrated it with Swagger UI, so after creating one project and already existing REST API built in, and after that we are going to integrate with Swagger, so this approach is known as bottom up approach. So okay, let's start. First we will follow today a top down approach. So here I will create one Spring Boot project, and inside Spring Boot project I will use Spring multi-module approach. So here I am going to create just a simple Spring Boot project, so just a simple Maven project. Create Maven project, then click on next. Here I need to define group ID, and here artifact ID, API specification, parent module. So it is, we are going to follow Spring Boot multi-module approach. So the parent modules packaging will always be POM. So here I need to select POM and click on finish. So inside this parent module I will create one child module. So now I will go to here and click other, and here I will enter Maven module, click on next. So here I will just define student web API. So now I will just click on next, and here we can select packaging as a jar and click on finish. So here we can see the child module is created, that is student web API, but here some spelling mistake, EWEB API. So now what I will do, here I will first need to create its API specification file. So first I will go and create our new folder, and the folder name is API. Click on finish, and inside this folder I will create one file, that is API specification file. So its name will be student API.yml, and click on finish. So inside this file I will just define API specification. So here I will just paste it. This is our API specification. And so in our previous video I have already discussed about Open API, why we are going to use tags that are very meaningful, because here we are just using same tags. So only one controller will be created, add student. These are the paths that we need to define the URL of our API, and it is post type, and this is the URL. And summary, we can add anything, parameters, In headers we are just passing our correlation ID and request body, and this is a reference path, that is a student body, and operation ID means what will be the method name that will be generated automatically, add student. So with this name add student method will be created. And second API that we are going to use, that is get all students. So first one was post type and second is get type. So here we are just creating two APIs. So here we can go to our Swagger editor and we can check what we are going to create. If I will go to editor.swagger.io, and here I will just put my API specification file. So here we can see what we are going to create. So like this our Swagger will be look like after creating. The request will be post type and second will be get student. So here we are going to create two APIs. And headers, inside header we are just passing our correlation ID, and it is a mandatory field that we have mentioned in our API specification file, that is in header correlation ID and required is equal to true. So if you want to make it optional, then we can write true as a false. And inside request body we need to pass these parameters. So these are our API specification. So after creating our API specification file, now I will go to my parent pom.xml, and here we just need to add the common dependencies that will be used in all child modules, so that we no need to declare again and again. So here I will use dependencies. So here I will just paste the dependencies. I have pasted these dependencies. These are common dependency that is related to our Jackson, and three dependencies are related to our Swagger UI. So we can see all APIs on Swagger, no need to use Postman. And one is Spring Boot starter validation. So if we want to use any validation annotation for Spring Boot, we can use. And this is Spring Web dependency, and another is Servlet API. Okay, so these are the common dependency that we need in our child module project. So now I will go to my child pom.xml, that is our child module student web API. So first I will open it, and here we need to add plugin that will be used to generate our REST API code. So here I will just paste the code, that is the build plugin that will be used to generate the code. So that RESTful API code we will use in our service implementation layer. So here I have added one plugin, that is org open API tools, that we are going to use to generate RESTful APIs code. And here we are just defining ID for execution, that we can write anything. And here phase is generate source, and inside configuration I have defined our API specification file path. So I just need to change it first. So here I will go to my API folder, and inside API folder I will just click and go to properties and copy all the path from here. Just copy it and cancel it and just replace it. So here I will just paste this path here. This is the complete path of the student API.yml file. Next, what will be the generator name? Here I am just using Spring, and generator API test is false, and in which package I want to generate model classes. So here we need to define model package as this, and in which package I want to generate our API code. So it will be the API package, and output folder where the source code will be generated, and it is the interface only, so it will generate interfaces for our source code also, and it is the source folder name. Inside this folder all the code will be generated by OpenAPI tools. And here we are using library Spring Boot because we are following Spring Boot framework. So here I am just using Spring Boot, and we can also use REST template. And here use tags, Here I have declared it's true because I am also using true tags in our API specification, and hide generation timestamp is true. So use Swagger annotation. I have declared it as false, and serializable model, it will be always true. And the second build plugin that because we are using Java 8, so like this we need to create the specification and for our child module. Now I just build this project, then we will see the code will be generated automatically. So here I will define clean install, and here it's taking time to build. So it's built successfully. So now here we can see the source folder name what we have defined. Here we have defined our source folder name is generated sources. So I will go to my target, and under target we can see generated sources folder, and inside generated sources folder we can see com gain java knowledge API model, com gain java API knowledge. Inside knowledge API, and here we can see our model because I have just defined only single model, that is student class, inside our student API.yml file. So it's generated single model, and it will generate it automatically API util and student API. And inside this student API we can see our REST endpoints that we are going to use. One is used for to add the student, and second API that we are going to use for to get all students. So these two APIs code automatically generated, so we just need to provide our own business logic for this. So now I will create one more Spring Boot project. So I will go to browser, and here I will type star.spring.io, and here we just need to select Maven project language Java, and here we need to select group ID gain Java knowledge, and here student service, it will be the artifact ID for our project. And next we need to select version of Java, and here we need to add dependencies. So here I will select Spring Web dependency, and also going to connect with MySQL database, and MySQL connector we need to add. And here I am going to use JPA repository, so here I will add Spring Boot starter JPA, and another dependency we can add according to our requirements. So here I am just going to use these three dependencies. Now I will click on generate. So our Spring Boot project has been generated. Now go to show in folder. So from here I will just extract this file, that is our zip file. So here just right click and extract here. From here I will just copy its path and go to my Eclipse, and here I will just need to import file, import existing Maven project. So after creating our Spring Boot project, now I am going to use the code generated by our Swagger Codegen tool. For this I just need to add the dependency of our Spring, that is student web API dependency we need to add inside our student services. After that we can use the code generated by Swagger Codegen tool. So here I will just paste this dependency, that is our group ID, artifact ID, and this is a version. So here it's showing the version is missing. So now I need to go inside our student web API pom.xml and need to check the version. So here I can see what version that we are using, that is 0.0.1. just copy this because it's using the version from its parent pom. and I think it's same. So here it's showing EWB jar API snapshot. So I will just Maven build, Maven update project. So now I need to check our student web API packaging path. So here I will go inside pom.xml, and here we can see it is the artifact ID. So from here I will just copy its artifact ID, and this is a group ID and artifact ID that we need to use. So here I will revert it, and again go to my student service pom.xml file, and here we just need two group ID and artifact ID. So here after updating, so n is missing here. So now it's working fine. Dependency has added. So now I will go to my source main Java, and inside this we can see our controller. Our Spring Boot main class is already created. So now I will just create one controller, and will use the code generated by our Swagger Codegen tool. So here I will create one controller class, and here we just need to define student controller, and inside student controller I will just create two APIs that we have already created. We just need to implement here. So here I will just define @REST controller annotation, and here we just need to implement interface that is generated by Swagger Codegen tool, that's name student API. So now we need to override both methods. One is add student, and the second one is get student. So we have overridden. So here we just need to add our own business logic. So for this I will just create one service class and refresh it. So here I will go and create one new interface, that is service interface, inside service package, and the interface name will be student service. And now I will go to create its implementation class for this interface. So here I will create one more package, that is student service IMPL. Here we just need to define new package, that is service.impl, and just click finish. So this class will implement our student interface, student service interface, and here we just need to define annotation, that is @service. Now I will create one more package that is used for our repository class. So here I will create one more package, that is repository package dot repository, and here the class name interface name will be student repository that will implement JP repository. So this will be the interface, and we also need to create one entity class for our student. So here I will create one more package, that is entity package, that is entity, and the class name will be student entity, and I have already created and mapped this class, so I will just copy paste. So here I have just added our entity class inside our entity package, that is student and student entity class, that contains 5 property: ID, name, last name, section, city, and name. So these are the 6 properties. So now I will refresh this project, refresh it, and here we also need to add our DB configuration so we can connect with our database. So here I will just add configuration for our database, that is our database. We are using MySQL database, and this is username, password, and here we are using Hibernate DDL auto is update. And after creating this, we need to go to our controller class, and inside our controller we just need to override our service layer, student service. So here I will just call this interface methods. So here I will just remove this and will make it large. So here I will just call service dot add student, and inside student we just need to pass this student object. So inside the second method we also need to create one method that will fetch all the student records. So here I will call student dot get all student. So this method will return all the student list. So now I will generate inside our interface, and next we also need to generate get all student. So here we can see two methods had generated. Now I will go to our implementation class. Here we need to add our implementation logic. So here I will just override our repository class, repository layer, that is add the auto void, and here private student repository that is used for to fetch all the student from DB and to save the record into DB. So here I will just fetch all the student. So here I will call repository dot find all method. So it will fetch all the student, repository dot find all. But I think I have not created our student repository. So here I need to implements jp extends jp repository, and here we need to pass our mode entity name, entity class that we are using student entity, and here we need to pass the data type that we are using for our primary key, that is integer. And now I will go back to our service implementation layer, that is student service implementation, and here I just need to call find all. So it will return list of all students, and here I assign the variable students. So here I am just pasting these two lines here that will convert our entity into model class. So we just need to import it. Now I just paste these methods here, that is general methods just used to convert our entity into our model. So for add student we also need to write the logic, that is we need to call save function. So here I will just paste these lines that I have already written. So here I have done my implementation logic. So now I will go and start my application and will check our API is working fine with already generated code or not. So here run as a Java application. So here we can see our application is going to start. So here we can see it has started on port number 8080. Now I will go, and here we just need to open our Swagger localhost Swagger UI index.html. This is the URL path for our Swagger APIs, and here two APIs are available, get student. So inside get student we just need to pass correlation ID in header. We can pass anything because it's mandatory field. Now we just need to call it execute. After calling, here we can see the response, it's returning list of students. Here are 5 students, and the next API that we have created is add student. So here I will add one student, so next time we will get 6 students. So here we can pass any number, anything in correlation ID. Here we just need to pass a city name and no need to pass ID. So remove the id from here because it will be generated automatically by a hibernate generator. First name and last name is Kumar, and we can pass anything, and section 7a. Now I will execute this API and we'll check the response. So here we are getting 201, that is created successfully. Now I will get it again. So first we get 5 students, now we will get 6 students. There will be one more student, that is Arun Kumar. So here 1 2 3 4 5, and the last one is Arun Kumar, that we have did by using our post API. So these are related to Swagger code generator. Okay, thanks for watching this video.